from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, this is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. As we come on air tonight, we start with news out of California. Santa Barbara County Fire Department reported on Twitter there are multiple medical emergencies, including multiple severe traumas in Isla Vista, the college town just outside of UC Santa Barbara. Now, fire officials say it stems from an unsanctioned beach party. All of this happening this afternoon. Heavy crowds are common during the large unsanctioned beach party known as Deltopia. Many balconies were reported to be overcrowded. We'll share any updates with you tonight as we learn them. Now to our other developing news tonight. Ukrainian officials say Russian troops are retreating and that the area around Kyiv has been liberated. But shelling continues. A series of explosions tore through a city in Ukraine that's not far from a nuclear power plant today. Ukrainian President Zelensky is still calling on the West to send more weapons as his country braces for a potentially difficult battle against Russian forces. Here's ABC's Karina Mitchell leading us off tonight with the latest on the war.
As Russian troops retreat from much of northern Ukraine, a senior Ukrainian defense official says the entire region of the capital city of Kyiv has been liberated. In his latest address, President Volodymyr Zelensky says there are more Ukrainian flags in areas that had been temporarily occupied. Satellite images confirm most of the Russian forces have abandoned strategically crucial Antonov Airport just 6 miles outside of Kyiv. But the situation in Ukraine is still treacherous. Military officials there say even as Russian forces leave, they're planting mines in homes, on streets, and even under the dead. Among those killed since the conflict began, acclaimed Ukrainian photojournalist Maxim Levin. He was quoted as saying, "Every Ukrainian photographer dreams of taking a photo that will stop the war." Levin's body found near Kyiv. He leaves behind a wife and 4 children. In Bucha, northwest of the capital, entire neighborhoods are reduced to rubble. In the besieged southeastern city of Mariupol, the humanitarian crisis is growing. The Red Cross once again trying to get a humanitarian convoy through. President Zelensky confirmed that the Russians are slowly moving out across much of Ukraine, but he says they're redeploying to eastern Ukraine, setting up a potentially decisive battle ahead in the Donbas region. Meantime, Pope Francis telling reporters he is considering a trip to Kyiv and issuing a statement placing blame for the war on Russian President Vladimir Putin, though not directly naming him. Saying, quote, "We thought that invasions of other countries, savage fighting in the streets, and atomic threats were grim memories of the past." Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
And with food and gas prices on the rise and inflation at a 40-year high, many Americans are struggling to pay for basic necessities like food, gas, and rent. But there is a bright spot for the economy. 431,000 jobs were added last month, and unemployment is nearly back to pre-pandemic levels. Here's ABC's Alex Perche with the details.
More and more Americans are struggling financially, with inflation at its highest level in 40 years.
When you're living paycheck to paycheck, it hits you like a ton of bricks.
At the supermarket, according to a new report from the USDA, the cost of groceries rose 1.4% between January and February this year. Prices are up 8.6% between February 2021 and February of 2022. Poultry prices could move up by 6 to 7% this year. The cost of eggs up to 2.5% and 3.5%. Consumers are also paying more at the pump. Nationwide, gas prices averaging more than $4 a gallon.
These numbers are not good. They show a lot of people are in trouble.
President Biden announcing the largest ever release of oil from the nation's Strategic Petroleum Reserve, 1 million barrels a day for the next 6 months, up to 180 million barrels total.
I know that this job is not finished. We need to do more to get prices under control.
But there is a bright spot for the economy. The March jobs report shows 431,000 jobs were added last month, the 11th straight month of more than 400,000 new jobs. The unemployment rate down to 3.6%, almost back to pre-pandemic levels. For many, that means now is the right time to look for a new or better job.
Employers know there is a tight labor market, and in order to attract and retain their top talent, they're being more flexible.
Experts suggest while looking for a new job, know the marketplace for your skill set and know your worth. Negotiate your terms, salary and schedule, and any other details that are important to you. And cast a wide net. Many companies are no longer limited by zip code. Alex Brachet, ABC News, Washington.
The Odessa Police Department is releasing the name of the victim in yesterday's deadly crash on I-20 at FM 1936. He's been identified as 58-year-old Clyde Frank Morgan of Odessa. Next of kin has been identified. Police say the crash happened just before 7 a.m. and they say because of the heavy traffic on I-20, there are multiple vehicles involved, and they are asking for anyone who passed through the area to call police. And they say the specific time frame is between 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning.
And now your forecast first on ABC Big 2 News.
Well, friends, Saturday has arrived, the weekend is here, and temperature is definitely not too bad for springtime. Today we're able to enjoy a high of 79 degrees. Our lows not too bad, 43 degrees. Today's temperatures actually be our average. We're definitely used to 77-degree temperatures for this time in April, and then 48-degree temperatures for our lows in April. Not bad whatsoever. A warm day in the Permian Basin, but not as warm as how we were back in 2011 when we were sitting at a nice and warm and steamy 95 degrees. Our lows not too bad, 29 degrees back in 1938. And I have the more of this weekend's forecast later on the show. Back over to you, Rob.
Well, thank you, Bridget. Now, earlier this week, we first told you about the tragic death of a hiker at Big Bend National Park. The cause of death has not yet been revealed. Rangers were called to the Hot Springs Canyon Trail around 4 in the afternoon on Monday and found a 53-year-old woman in distress. The hiker's name hasn't been released. We spoke to the National Park Service about the trail, which is considered moderate in difficulty.
The Hot Springs Trail, we rate it as moderate. It is about 6 miles round trip, and you go up some. The big thing on that trail is that there's no shade at all.
Now, we asked Ranger Annie about hiking safety and general survival tips in Big Bend National Park as the weather warms up in treacherous territory. She strongly recommends a minimum of 1 gallon of water a day, hiking early and getting off the trail before noon. And she says cell reception is not guaranteed, so make sure to tell someone where you're going and when they can expect to hear from you again. Heed trailhead signs and be wary of high elevation throughout the park. It's also a big cause in dehydration.
You know, the first sign that you start to feel a little bit bad, turn back then. Don't push yourself. Don't try to get through it and keep going miles further into the desert. Turn around when you can tell that something is maybe not quite right.
And all very helpful tips right there. Now, the sun was shining in the basin today under blue skies. The Ector County Sheriff's Office took full advantage of the nice weather to invite the public to an event. They had a job fair in West Odessa, giving people the chance to apply to sworn and non-sworn positions. And do you like the music? How about the bouncy house? Have you tried the bouncy house? That was me trying to speak with one of the attendees, Easton. Her mom is a dispatcher in Ector County. While today's event was a job fair at the West Annex by Kellis Turner Park, it didn't really look that way. There was a bouncy house, a DJ in uniform, and like you saw, of course, with such good weather, some grilling. The Ector County Sheriff's Office said this job fair was a unique opportunity to meet families and hire some new faces.
We're needing people in the jail so very bad, and on the street. We just need people to come out and become part of our family. So that's what today's about, is getting out and getting the public to come out and putting in some applications to maybe come to work for us.
And people could apply for positions like deputies, jailers, dispatchers, and booking clerks, to name a few. While the adults stayed busy, the kids got some fun in too. There was face painting indoors where it was nice and cool. They even had a raffle today. You just saw that Louis Vuitton purse. Some of the prizes included a scooter as well. I got the chance to speak with one of the winners.
So
amazing. It's great. Thank you.
And while the job fair went on, the Ector County Sheriff's Office broke out one of their most important tools. It's a drone with thermal heat sensors. It can fly 400 feet in the sky and can detect heat sources with 4K imagery. The Sheriff's Office said it has been incredibly helpful solving cases, and it's often used during police pursuits.
This is the DJI Matrice 300 RTK. So we use it for search and rescues, for searching for people who have fled on foot from us that we have criminal charges on. We also use it for documenting crime scenes, for documenting crashes.
Now, the Midland firefighters got some bomb squad training this week. Check it out. The department shared these photos on Facebook. MFD reenacted the disposal of a radioactive device. And while the fires in Eastland are under control tonight, people are still stepping in to help, including those right here in the basin. We have an update tonight on a donation drive held by the Midland County Sheriff's Office. The Midland County Mounted Patrol held an event last week. We first told you about it here on ABC Big 2 News at 10 o'clock. They raised $3,500, excuse me, for the Carbon Baptist Church that was affected by those deadly fires. The leftover money will be given directly to fire victims. On top of the money, MCSO donated 2 4-door trucks and a 35-foot trailer of supplies. And as big things continue to happen in downtown Odessa, leaders of the project are now expanding parking lots. Starting next week, the city will be changing some of the parallel parking spots to angled parking spots. It's happening on 4th and 5th Streets as well as Lee and Texas Avenues. Only one side of the street will be closed at the time. Downtown Odessa says it will create 30 more parking spots. And new tonight out of Midland, it's the official grand opening at Fair to Midland. Our own ABC Big 2's evening anchor, Madeline Bierster, is there tonight right now emceeing that event. Fair food, of course, is there, and different bands are playing. There's live music by Paul Cawthon, Weatherstone, Colton Rice, and Ellis Bullard. Doors opened at 2 o'clock. There's live music all night, and Fair to Midland is on Tradewinds Boulevard. Getting ready for liftoff. Some astronauts are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. We have coverage coming up.
Well, the weekend is here. Temperatures are looking really nice, but what does that mean for our algae report? Right now, you know, our winds are sitting pretty calm, but tomorrow our winds will get pretty high. So what does that mean? Taking a look at that when we get back.
And we check in with March Madness as we take a live look right now at the Superdome in New Orleans. Right now, Duke and UNC are going at it. We already know who's going to the title game. At least one spot's claimed. Find out who next.
We're checking out. We'll miss you. How was your stay?
We travel all over, and this hotel is our favorite. We love the free breakfast buffet in the mornings and the omelet station.
My favorite thing is the super fast Wi-Fi in the room. I can get my work done and plug my PS4 into that huge 50-inch TV and game all night.
This is the best sleep I've ever had on the most comfortable bed. And I love the Starbucks coffee and the Bath & Body Works soaps in the room. We'll see you again soon.
The MCM Grande Hotel and Fun Dome, Odessa. What makes best reviews the best reviews? They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to get reliable recommendations on pretty much everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
We're all for sleight of hand. Because it's not just a sport. It's a magic show. The NHL on ABC.
Sponsored locally by the Odessa Jackalopes. Are you looking for a job in the fast-paced world of news?
ABC Big 2 is currently hiring for the following positions. Qualified applicants, head over to yourbasin.com and click on Work for Us under the Jobs tab.
Next Jeopardy!
I'm Mandy Patinkin with clues about Benjamin Franklin, whose words I read in the new Ken Burns documentary.
Don't miss this electrifying category on Jeopardy!
Thank you, Permian Basin, for nominating the remarkable women in your life.
Now stay tuned as 4 of these inspirational stories are being featured on ABC Big 2 every Tuesday this month.
ABC Big 2, recognizing remarkable women.
Veterans, when you're struggling, soon becomes later, becomes someday, becomes when. Don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Get ready for your day with meteorologist Ryan DePhillips. And now, your local weather authority forecast.
Well, friends, the weekend has arrived. That means some really great temperatures, even though our temperature change right now in the Permian Basin area is a little bit half of increasing and half of decreasing, like that mid-Odessa area sitting at 4 degrees cooler this same time yesterday, tying along with Big Spring, along with Seminole. But as we make our way down south, we do see that Presidio and Alpine sitting at some really good temperatures, sitting pretty even. And then we have Marfa increasing by 1 degree, Van Horn 3 degrees warmer, and the Guadalupe Pass sitting at 4 degrees warmer. Definitely not too bad whether you increased or decreased in temperatures, because today we sat pretty well, a high of 79 degrees. Usually around this time in April, we're definitely used to 77-degree temperatures. So today we have increased our highs and our average lows. So definitely not too bad. 48 our average, but today 43 degrees. We can't complain because back in 1938, our lows were only sitting at 29 degrees. And not as hot as we were back in 2011. We're only sitting at 95 degrees, but today warm enough to beat our average. Currently, we are sitting in our 50s. Definitely not too bad. Mostly clear kind of evening. Our humidity levels not bad at all, sitting at 16%. So as you are looking at the stars, it's not going to be too sticky out there. So do enjoy those stars while you can. A very windy kind of calm day. But as we make our way into Sunday, that's when we will see winds increasing in the Permian Basin. Just sitting in there, double digits at 11 miles per hour in the Middle-Odessa area, 15 miles per hour in Big Spring. But as we increase into our Sunday, as the time goes by, we do see that not only does that go by, but along with the winds, increasing our wind travel to 15 miles per hour in the Middle-Odessa area, 17 miles per hour over in Big Spring. Now, as we continue on into our Sunday, I do want to bring our attention over to 7 p.m. because as you do see, we do see a lot of yellow going on, which means a lot of increasing of wind travel. 26 miles per hour in the Middle-Odessa area, 23 miles per hour over in Big Spring, 25 miles per hour over in Snyder. But our friends down south, such as Presidio, very calm kind of wind travel. So we do advise that you hold off on any kind of fire weather activity. We're going to continue to see some of these winds as we make our way into the start of the week. Going into tomorrow, a very cool morning sitting at 54 degrees, sunny as well. Then we get into noon, right after some of us are leaving church. We will see temperatures increasing to our 70s at 77 degrees by noon. But it's going to warm up as we continue on to 5 p.m. A very warm afternoon sitting at 89 degrees. So not bad whatsoever. With all that being said, our algae report does show with some really nice temperatures, our trees along with our dust sitting at a very moderate level. So definitely not bad whatsoever. We'll take what we can get. Now that 7-day forecast is going to show that today, or Sunday, we are going to be sitting at 87 degrees, which is very similar to today's temperatures, highs in the 80s. And then we get into Monday, that's when we do see, some thunderstorms sitting at 78 degrees. Definitely not too bad whatsoever. We'll take what we can get because that by the next day, we're sitting at 89 degrees. Not bad at all. Back over to you, Rob.
Well, thanks a lot, Bridget. Tonight, let's talk about the first ever private astronaut mission to the International Space Station. The crew is set to lift off next week on the trip of a lifetime. ABC's Gio Benitez has the details.
We're just days away from that historic launch to the International Space Station, the first all-private crew to the ISS, a 10-day mission with the private space company Axiom. Former NASA astronaut Michael Lopez Alegria is the commander.
This is opening a new era in human spaceflight.
Going with him, mission specialist Eitan Stiba and Mark Pathy, and pilot Larry Connor, all entrepreneurs spending tens of millions to launch aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon.
We are taking the first step in a next generation platform initiative that's going to bring working, living, and research in space to a much broader and more international audience.
GMA speaking with Connor last year. At 72 years old, he'll be the second oldest person to go to the ISS. John Glenn was 77.
What's your wife saying to you?
She's seen me do a lot of really unusual things. So the look is usually like this, and that's, here he goes again.
The crew will spend 8 full days on the International Space Station. Among the goals, scientific research, especially medical.
We are ready to fly.
Axiom is the same company that announced in January that it plans to build a production studio module for the space station as part of a plan to launch Tom Cruise into space to film a movie.
And the launch is scheduled for this Wednesday at noon. You can watch it all live on our streaming network, ABC News Live. Now to sports. We were supposed to take a look at the Superdome in New Orleans. The Final Four is happening there. The last matchup between UNC and Duke just ended. We do know that tonight Kansas is heading to the national title game with an 81-65 win over Villanova. It was a rematch from the national semifinal in San Antonio 4 years ago. Now, earlier, Duke was playing number 8 seed North Carolina. It was all part of Coach K's retirement tour, one that has been a big draw for sports fans. And if you wanted to see March Madness in person, not on TV, we wanted to know how much it would cost for some good seats. ABC's John Holt breaks it down for us.
How do you like this Superdome view? Mid-court, a great view of the semifinal Saturday night games and the Monday night title game. Well, we found you a seat, 4 in fact, vivid seats. Mid-court, Section 142, $67,275 a piece. We found some more pretty good Section 142 seats. They're nice and padded right here. Oh, just one problem. They're not for sale. Block view. NFL games only. Okay, we've got a view for you here. We're moving up a little bit higher now. This is the Loge level, 200 level seats, anywhere from 5,000 to 1,000 up here in the 300 level. The road ends here, you know, and so does my bank account. Yeah, we're a little bit higher here, but you know what? This is pretty sweet, as in the suite level. And we found one sweet seat here, $31,167. And there's only one left. Hurry. Oh, what? 3, 2. We gotta go. We don't belong here. Oh, yeah. We're climbing to the top. Rarefied air at the Superdome. Nothing like ants playing down below. Whew. Did I mention rarefied air? Oh, yeah. Front or top row. Padded seats, all right. You even have a nice headrest. Oh, and just in case you missed a play, a TV too. $300 to $400 per. But hey, you're at the Final Four. Hey, well, you missed the call, ref. What are you, blind? Jeez.
Oh, the things money can buy. All right. Well, things are looking a bit green. One state over, more than $3.6 million of legal marijuana has been sold in New Mexico. Why legalization there might have an impact here. We'll be right back.
Here is Idol's 2-night event.
This is it.
With show-stopping duets. And find out who makes it to your vote.
You are in America's hands now.
American Idol, Sunday and Monday on ABC.
We're surprising teachers with gifts. I'll show up to a class with my surprise squad all school year. If you want to nominate a teacher, head to yourbasin.com.
Teacher Surprise Squad is sponsored by Pioneer Natural Resources.
Here at DQ, we always treat you right. Our famous soft serve, loaded with your favorite toppings, is happiness on a spoon. From super sundaes to delicious dipped cones to Blizzard Bliss. Hungry for more? We're also serving up the best burgers, crunchy tacos, and tasty baskets. Like our crispy Alaska Pollock Country Basket. The perfect meal for your Lenten season. DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
This is the sound of connecting.
Good morning.
Of learning, creating, competing, bonding.
How's he doing? A lot better.
This is the sound of fast, reliable internet. A fiber-powered network.
All right, push.
Delivering speeds up to 1 gig.
Absolutely.
And whole home Wi-Fi. So all your devices stay connected. This is the sound of Sparklight. A stronger connection.
Hi, I'm Susie with Susie South 40, and we've got the Rabbit Habit. And we want you to come shop with us. We've got more stuff than we've ever had for your baskets.
And right now, through April 2nd, Susie's South 40 Confections has all its Easter items and sugar-free chocolates 20% off. They have tons of candy and decor this year for you to customize your Easter baskets. Why spend your money at other stores for standard Easter baskets and gifts when you can make them unique with Susie's South 40 Confections?
Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
New at 10, the U.S. House is taking steps toward legalizing marijuana at the federal level in a vote to decriminalize the drug. Our neighboring states all have looser restrictions than Texas. New Mexico just joined the patchwork of states that allow recreational use of marijuana. ABC's Monica Madden takes a look at where the laws in Texas could be headed.
These lines outside a new dispensary in Las Cruces paled in comparison to how long folks there waited for New Mexico to legalize marijuana.
Nobody ever thought this day would come.
A milestone that we've all been waiting for.
For some Texans near the state line, access to legal marijuana could be just minutes away. Local law enforcement in El Paso warn possession in our state is still a crime.
Do whatever you will with it in New Mexico, but just don't bring it back into Texas.
Anything over 4 ounces in Texas is a felony, which could put folks behind bars for at least 2 years.
During last legislative session, the House did pass a bill that would decrease penalties for marijuana possession. However, it never made it to the governor's desk. Over on the Senate side of things, bills to expand marijuana access have had less luck, with little support from Senate President Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
When this legislation ends up going over to the Senate, the Lieutenant Governor prevents it from advancing. A vast majority of Texans want to see these laws change.
Legalization advocates are instead looking to the governor in hopes of progress on decreasing penalties.
Small possession of marijuana is not the type of violation that we want to stockpile jails with.
But advocates hope as surrounding states and the federal government look to legalize, Texas will feel the pressure to follow.
We have lagged behind the will of the voters. I hope that we can catch up in this next session.
And that was Monica Madden reporting. While lawmakers meet for hearings and research in an off-session year, cannabis is not currently on the table. Now, the Texas Politics Project at UT has been polling Texans on their attitudes of marijuana. About 31% of Texans think a small amount of marijuana for any purpose should be legal. 13% say marijuana should not be legal under any purposes. It's the weekend and time to kick back. How about some new movies? We get a look at the latest releases next.
See Big 2 Sports, brought to you by Glasheen Vaez and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
We're checking out. We'll miss you. How was your stay?
We travel all over, and this hotel is our favorite. We love the free breakfast buffet in the mornings and the omelet station.
My favorite thing is the super fast Wi-Fi in the room. I can get my work done and plug my PS4 into that huge 50-inch TV and game all night.
This is the best sleep I've ever had on the most comfortable bed. And I love the Starbucks coffee and the Bath & Body Works soaps in the room. We'll see you again soon.
The MCM Grande Hotel and Fun Dome, Odessa.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Visit your local dealer for the Made in America BGA 57 battery blower. Real steel. Find yours.
Why hide your skin if Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control?
Hide my skin, not me.
By hitting eczema where it counts, Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of eczema.
Hide my skin, not me.
And that means long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief for adults. With Dupixent, you can show more skin with less eczema.
Hide my skin, not me.
Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. When you help heal your skin from within, you can change how your skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice. Talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent, a breakthrough eczema treatment.
DVD, digital, and music releases this week include a popular masked killer, a genius detective, an award-winning singer, and more. ABC's Kristen Goodwin gives us a look.
You ready for this? Never.
A new Ghostface killer tops the list of what's new in home entertainment. Scream is the fifth film in the popular horror franchise that reunites Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox. The trio take on a new murderer who starts targeting a group of fresh victims.
He's only the greatest detective alive.
Kenneth Branagh directed and stars in the murder mystery Death on the Nile. The sequel to 2017's Murder on the Orient Express features Branagh back in action as Detective Hercule Poirot solving another case. Penelope Cruz stars in the Spanish drama Parallel Mothers. She plays a single mother who bonds with another woman after meeting her in a maternity ward.
I know exactly who I am and where I came from.
Keke Palmer plays a heroine who finds freedom and seeks revenge in the slavery drama Alice. A veteran rider nearing the end of his career hopes to win one last championship in the sports drama Jockey.
We all deserve better.
Available from the small screen, the fourth season of Hulu's award-winning dystopian drama The Handmaid's Tale, starring Elizabeth Moss, and season 1 of CBS's true crime series CSI Vegas.
Yeah, that's just life, baby.
For music fans, Camila Cabello releases her new album, Familia. Serpentina is the fourth album from singer-songwriter Banks. Rock band Papa Roach unleashes Ego Trip. Grammy-nominated guitar virtuoso Joe Satriani releases his 19th album, The Elephants of Mars. And Jack White unveils Fear of the Dawn, his first album in 4 years.
A lot to check out there. All right, well, coming up after the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast. Stay tuned.
You've been dismissed.
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 Cable news networks have decided they only want to appeal to the extremes. They only care about half of us.
And if you don't agree with their point of view,
you're dismissed.
It's about time somebody did something. At News Nation, we are here to bring you back.
Back to where we aren't yelling at each other, but telling all of America's stories.
Come back to the facts. Back to balance.
Come back to the news. News Nation. News for all America.
At Window Pro, we've served the great people of West Texas for over 30 years with quality windows, siding, patios, and sunrooms. Call us today for a free, no-hassle estimate.
Dents and dings got you down? At Plastics Auto Paint and Body, their paintless dent repair restores your vehicle back to its original state. Here are 4 reasons to consider paintless dent repair. Vehicle panels have shape memory. Our technicians can pop the dent back out of the metal to its original shape. No removal of panels. No painting or sanding involved. It's inexpensive and fast. If your vehicle has an unsightly dent, it's worth finding out if paintless dent repair might be a good option for you. Contact us today at Plastics Auto Paint and Body to schedule a free consultation.
This week, take a spin with Wheel around the world.
You ready for this? I was born ready.
America's game goes international.
Greeting from Argentina.
Finland.
Spain. Their game is like a party.
The NHL on ABC.
Sponsored locally by the Odessa Jackalopes. Are you looking for a job in the fast-paced world of news? ABC Big 2 is currently hiring for the following positions. Qualified applicants, head over to yourbasin.com and click on Work for Us under the Jobs tab.
Let's take one last look at that 7-day forecast. A high of 87 degrees by Sunday. This entire weekend we have been sitting in our 80s, which is good because it's above average normal temperatures. So we'll take what we can get. And then we do have a 20% chance of some rain showers on Monday, but that doesn't stop us because we'll still be warm, sitting at 78 degrees. And then we get into Tuesday back up to our 80s, sitting pretty close to today or to Sunday at 89 degrees. So not bad whatsoever. We'll take what we can get this weekend and make the most of it. It's also going to be a windy kind of Sunday, so do take necessary precautions and hold on to those lashes, ladies, while we are at the pool just chilling.
Well, thank you, Bridget. That's all the time we have for news. We'll see you tomorrow, and good night.